So does nature do bailouts? I need prop money. Hi there, this is Big Spruce Rabbitry, and if you pay much attention to politics and finances and all that jazz, well, you know that the president signed a disaster relief bill into law that bailed out a number of large corporations with a $2 trillion about, and probably more in the future, of relief money. So that's got me thinking, does nature do anything like bailouts that we see in our monetary system? Hey, Meatloafy. So I have kind of a weird way of looking at money, finances, and investments and all that stuff. I mean, before I retired from graduate school to be a farmer, I've got a master's degree in physics. I enjoy the overlap between physics and finance. Ever since I was a kid, I've been good with my money. I've never bought things I don't need. I don't take on debt. I basically have been very responsible with the money that I get, but I first and foremost consider myself an energy investor. In physics, the universe basically has a magical quantity. The amount of energy in the universe, it is the same no matter what. Grab you, duck. And grab the duck. Energy is the stuff that makes stuff happen. By me holding this duck up off the ground, the duck has potential energy, the energy of position. If I was to drop the duck would then have kinetic energy. Hey, ducky, wanna go? The total amount of potential energy and kinetic energy is the same throughout the universe all the time. This ball ramp demo I borrowed from the UAF physics department shows it. The ball has the most kinetic energy at the top of the ramp when it's moving fastest. When it is at the top of the loop, it is moving slower, but still has potential energy. The combination of potential energy and kinetic energy is the same no matter where the ball is on the loop. This concept that energy cannot be created or destroyed, just transformed, is called the first law of thermodynamics. So what does this thermodynamics stuff have to do with the Wall Street bailout? I'm going to make the argument to you that this homestead is an economy, but instead of trading money with my rabbits, I'm trading energy in the form of food with them. This hay is grass. When it was alive, it captured energy from the sun and transformed it into chemical energy, which is now stored in the hay. When I feed the hay to my rabbits, the rabbits transform that chemical energy into a form of chemical energy that I can eat, rabbit meat. I've already mentioned the first law of thermodynamics, that energy cannot be created or destroyed, just transformed. You might already be seeing a problem with our homestead economy. This is how much hay it takes to produce 1 pound of rabbit meat. That's not very efficient. Well, welcome to the second law of thermodynamics. With each transformation the energy goes through, the amount of useful energy goes down. I'll show you where this useful energy is lost. Have your meatloaf. Get these girls fed. A rabbit's body temperature is 100 to 103 degrees Fahrenheit. The rabbit must burn this energy to stay alive, but that energy is not used to produce meat, so is lost in usefulness to meat. This is the cost of doing business in the energy economy. So how does the money economy compare to the energy economy? Hey guys, I got food. Money in the money economy is the medium of exchange, just as energy is in the energy economy. Hey Dex, come on, come back, we got food for you. The rules of thermodynamics determine how energy is exchanged. I'm going to go put this chicken back. Because our money doesn't have a set amount the way energy does, it has very different properties from energy. So how does this come back to the bailouts? First of all, this $100 bill only has value because it is decreed to have value by our society. Historically, this $100 bill would have been a claim check for $100 worth of gold held in the vault of some bank somewhere. Well, that's not how it works anymore because in 1971 we went off the gold standard, so this $100 bill cannot be used as a claim check for the gold. Going off the gold standard transformed our money system. So let's back up. Remember the first law of thermodynamics that energy cannot be created or destroyed? Neither can gold. So by going off the gold standard, what the monetary system effectively did is took itself off the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, I do hear you. You can actually create more gold by mining it, so it's not as perfect as the first law of thermodynamics where the amount of energy in the universe at the beginning of the universe is the same amount that we've got now. Because our money doesn't have a first law of thermodynamics, it behaves fundamentally different than the energy economy on our homestead. Well, the U.S. Central Bank, the Fed, is printing as much money as it wants. This is how it's paying for the bailouts. This has consequences. Basic economics says if you increase the supply of something, you reduce the demand for it. Well, by flooding the market with money, you reduce the demand for money, devaluing it. You might have heard of inflation. Well, this is what causes it. When money loses its value with respect to the real world. So can a bailout happen in this homestead's energy economy? Well, yes and no. No at the cosmic scale. The universe has as much energy as it will ever have, and it will eventually run out of usable energy when it dies. Here in our homestead, yes, bailout time is here. It's springtime, meaning we are gaining 7 minutes of sunlight a day. Nearly all life on Earth depends on energy from the sun to live. Energy is limited in supply, which gives it great value. And when you increase the amount of energy in the system, as you do in the springtime with longer day lengths, you stimulate the energy economy, effectively giving a bailout to the system. I'm getting my plants started in the house and looking forward to getting my garden in to transform sunlight into food. But I must save food because the spring bailout is temporary. Winter is coming and the laws of thermodynamics are not negotiable. Winter will come to our money economy too. All bailouts are temporary. Well, I hope you learned something. Like, comment, subscribe, and check out our farm store in the description.